We left the underground world of Coober Pedy behind and headed north, straight into the wild colors of the Painted Desert, a hidden gem that doesn't get nearly enough credit. From there we hit Oodnadatta, a town that feels like the edge of the world, and followed the legendary Oodnadatta Track all the way down to Marree. It's remote, it's rugged and full of outback charm. Think colorful hills, old railway ruins, and some of the longest, straightest roads you've ever seen. So let's air down the brand new tires and kick up some dust. This is the South Australian Outback at its best. We are Joseph, Martijn and our dog Buddy. We have left the grind behind to embrace the freedom of life on the road, trading office chairs for camp chairs and deadlines for dirt roads. Guided by 𝐀𝐥𝐿 to travel in a purposeful manner towards a vague destination, we are here to share our journey, stories and tips for living adventurously. Hop in and join as we roam, explore and embrace the unexpected. This isn't our usual servo, just a fuel tank in the middle of nowhere. No shop, no shade, just the essentials. Out here this is gold. You don't drive past a setup like this without topping up, even if your tank's still half full. Time to air down before we hit the gravel. We usually run 36 psi in the back and 26 psi in the front. Helps smooth out the corrugations and gives the tires a bit more grip. It's one of those little rituals before heading into the rough stuff. And just like that, a reminder that this track isn't just for travelers like us. This road is a lifeline out here. Massive road trains thunder through with supplies, cattle, fuel, you name it. When one comes your way, you will better get off the road, no questions asked.
Wow, look like a thunderstorm.
This is what most of the Oodnadatta Track looks like in the rear view. A never-ending cloud of dust chasing us down the road. Let's just say we are glad we sealed up the back of the Troopy properly. We keep the Garmin InReach Mini handy, mostly for SOS, just in case. Out here it's peace of mind knowing help is never too far away. If you're checking the map, you will notice some sections marked in blue. Creeks, floodplains, the usual suspects. But don't let that fool you, in the middle of summer these places are dry as a bone. They only fill up after rare rains, which means crossing them can be a bit tricky if the weather changes fast. The colors out here are something else. Rich reds, ochres and golds that stretch as far as the eye can see. It's not just the landscape, it's the remoteness that makes it truly beautiful. Being out here feels like stepping into another world. From up here, the painted desert reveals its true magic, layers of color and texture carved by time and weather. It's like a natural masterpiece, constantly changing with the light and shadows. No photo or video really does it justice. You have to be here to feel the vastness and the stillness. We are officially on the Oodnadatta Track now, right from the heart of Oodnadatta itself. And of course, first stop, the iconic Pink Roadhouse. It's a must-see, with its quirky charm and plenty of stories behind the faded pink walls. If you're passing through, this is a place to refuel both your tank and your Outback spirit. When we rolled into the Pink Roadhouse in the middle of summer, it was surprisingly quiet, practically empty. Usually a buzzing spot on the Oodnadatta Track, but out here in the heat, it feels like the whole place is taking a well-earned break. Still, the dusty charm and those faded pink walls hold plenty of stories, even if the crowds took a day off. We stayed at a nice free camp right in Oodnadatta. Simple, quiet and perfect for a night in town. Plenty of space for us and Buddy to relax after a big day on the track.
As the sun slowly crept into the sky, it filled the morning air with warmth and life. Sounds of birds in harmony, and you there right next to me.
We just left Oodnadatta where we camped last night. A lot of doggies in the middle of the night, so we didn't sleep too well, but it was nice to visit. Of course, we went to the Pink Roadhouse, which has been a big thing for more than 40 years. It has been an icon on the Oodnadatta Track. and we got a nice mud map from them as well. So there's a lot of things to see on the road. So we're heading towards Marree via William Creek. Lots of different stops and water holes and all kinds of things to see. So quite exciting. We just left and we already see a whole group of emus. As you can hear, we are taking the advice from the Roadhouse to scan all the channels. So once in a while something pops up so people can communicate with each other while on this track, because it's pretty remote here. Whenever there's an animal hanging out by the road, Pedy is on it, barking like it's his job. Today it's this cow, just minding its business right next to the track. After all the barking and Outback excitement, Pedy's finally crashed. Deep sleep mode activated. That's one tired explorer. Out here, finding a big stretch of water like Okendon Creek feels like discovering an oasis in the desert, a rare and welcome sight in this dry, dusty landscape.
Through all the storms, I'm by your side. Through days of warmth, I'm by your side. Like the stars and the moon in the nighttime sky, I'm by your side. Walking in cold night.
Quick pit stop for lunch. Nothing fancy, just a classic Vegemite and cheese sandwich to keep us going. Simple, Aussie, and surprisingly satisfying out here on the road. This old train bridge is a quiet reminder of the Outback's past, no longer in use but still standing strong. Once a vital link for the railways, now just a piece of history framing the vast landscape.
With your hand in mine, all wrapped up warm, sitting by the fire. This life is the best, living wild and free. With you there, through all the storms, I'm by your side.
An old beauty left to the elements, just rusted metal now, but you can still imagine the stories this 50s car could tell. Out here, even forgotten relics become part of the landscape. From above, our camp looks like a little island in the middle of this dry creek bed. The perfect Outback hideaway. Quiet, remote, and surrounded by endless red dirt.
We are at the campground in between the track. It's called Box Creek. Today was quite really warm. I think we reached like 37 degrees. That is the reason why I am inside the Troopy, to cool down, because outside there's a lot of lice everywhere and mud is outside. But he's wearing one of those blinded. You wear something like this to protect your face from flies that make sure they won't go inside your mouth or your nose, because it can be really annoying. Here in Australia, summer can be very hot and can be a lot of flies everywhere that can be ruin your day, especially if you are drinking or eating something. You don't want to eat flies, right? So that's why we are wearing this. It's almost 5 o'clock, but still quite warm. So Woody is next to me, chilling and doing editing for the next episode.
Good day. This is day 2 of the Oodnadatta Track. We are currently very close to William Creek, and we probably head today to 𝐀𝐥𝐨𝐧𝐠 Hills and camp there and have a bath. Welcome to William Creek, one of the smallest towns with the biggest outback heart. Just a handful of locals, a pub, a roadhouse, and enough dust to remind you that you're truly in the middle of nowhere. It's a classic outback stop to refuel, stretch your legs, and swap stories with fellow travelers.
We don't take payment until you actually arrive, so you just go into the hotel and... Hi, I'm Rose. Welcome to William Creek. It is the smallest town in South Australia by the biggest salt lake in Australia on the biggest cattle station in the world, Anna Creek Station. It is a beautiful little spot. We get a lot of international tourists coming through, as well as ordinary folk coming through. We have had documentaries and all that sort of stuff done here for the Painted Hills and the lake. The Painted Hills is a landmass that you can only see by plane from us. We are classed as an essential service because Oodnadatta is 203k that way. Marree is 202k that way. Roxby is 258k that way. The closest one to our town to us is Coober Pedy, and it's 166 that way. So people were a bit shocked about the isolation out here, the distances travelled, but we have beautiful scenery and it's peaceful. It gets busy during a busy season, but it is really good place to be.
what is the population of this town?
It varies. According to the electoral roll, there are 4 people living in town all year round.
All right.
At the moment, I have myself, the boss, his girlfriend, and a German backpacker staying with us. Oh, and Mark, the head pilot's with us. So today there's actually 5 of us in town.
Wow. Okay.
But it varies quite a bit.
Next up is 𝐀𝐥𝐨𝐧𝐠 Springs, a bit of an oasis on the track with natural springs that have been a lifeline out here for generations. It's a peaceful spot to stop, explore and appreciate how life survives in this harsh landscape. At 𝐀𝐥𝐨𝐧𝐠 Springs there's a small museum on the property, a fascinating glimpse into the history of this remote spot and the people who made life out here. It's a perfect place to take a break, learn a bit and soak up the stories of the Outback.
So pretty here.
Amazing, in the middle of the desert. We are in 𝐀𝐥𝐴 Springs.
What's the history behind this spring?
I don't know in what year, but they first came here with the camels to put a telegraph line, and then later on the old Ghan railway. Of course, searching for water, they discovered this area, and there's quite a few springs in the area. But this is like a classic stop at Oodnadatta Track.
Yeah, and the water was actually surprisingly, it's not warm at all, because we thought that since this is part of the artisan boulevard around the area, we thought
Queensland,
that,
they're very hot.
yeah, we thought that it's hot, but
But here not.
yeah, but it's good actually because the weather today is like 38 max in this part of the country, so this is perfect. So we might stay here for another couple of hours.
And it's dog friendly, so Woody can be with us.
That's
Woody,
true.
are you a good boy? Blanche Cup is famous for its natural warm water, a rare and welcome spot for both travelers and wildlife in the harsh outback. It's amazing to think this warm spring has been sustaining life here for generations. This bubbler is not your typical cold water tap. The water here is naturally very hot, thanks to underground geothermal activity. It's called the bubbler because the water bubbles up from the spring below, a little natural fountain in the middle of the outback. From up here at the lookout, you get a rare glimpse of Lake Eyre, Australia's largest salt lake and one of the lowest points on the continent. Most of the time it's a vast dry salt pan, but after heavy rains it transforms into a shimmering inland sea, attracting birds and wildlife for miles around. It's a striking reminder of nature's extremes out here in the outback. The Oodnadatta Track stretches about 620 kilometers through some of the South Australia's most remote outback country. It follows old railway lines, crosses dry creek beds and passes ghost towns, giving you a real taste of Australia's pioneering history. Most unsealed and rough in parts, it's a true adventure, so having the right gear and a good vehicle like the Troopy is essential. We did the Oodnadatta Track in summer. It might not be recommendable by many of the websites. They all say go in winter, and that's probably true. However, we kept an eye on the weather forecasts, and after a couple of heat waves, we were staying at the Eyre Peninsula, we saw that the temperatures up here dropped significantly, and we took a chance and went on. So we had a perfect week, temperatures around 30 degrees during the day and well below the 20s for the night, so we had a good night's sleep. Obviously our main concern is Buddy, because we can deal with some heat, but with a dog it's different. We had a perfect week. Buddy was obviously in the air conditioning in the car at the hottest time of the day when we were driving, and at night and in the evening, afternoon at camp we were in the shade and the fan was on. He's totally fine, he even sometimes lay in the sun. Very nice track. It was very quiet and we probably saw a handful of cars. We had a lot of places to ourselves, including Coward Springs, which is quite unique I think. So we had the whole pool and the whole campground to ourselves. So it's very nice to do it at summer. It's very remote and it's very quiet, which is adding to the experience I think. If you go there at peak season, it's probably very busy. All the campgrounds are full and you are almost in the traffic jam on the track. So yeah, definitely good to do it in summer and explore if the temperatures are right. The further you get from the bitumen, the closer you get to something real. We hope you enjoyed this episode. We absolutely loved driving the Oodnadatta Track. It's remote, raw and full of surprises. If you've done a trek like this and you would think we would love it too, let us know in the comments. We're always keen for the next adventure. Thanks for watching and we'll see you in the next one.